It's been a really long time since I have filmed a Q&A, and I get questions on every single video regarding pregnancy and my pregnancy journey so far. So I figured I would go ahead and film a pregnancy Q&A now that I am officially like 34.5 weeks pregnant. I cannot believe that it's getting so close. I'm a little bit, no, I'm not a little bit scared. I'm like so scared out of my mind. I kind of just don't let myself think about giving birth and having a kid like fully all the way, because if I think about it too hard I kind of spiral a little bit, and I'm really scared. Like I cry some days because I'm like so scared and anxious. I am so sorry for he's having an amazing time. Just look at him. So yeah, I'm really scared, like so unbelievably scared for everything, for having a kid, for actually like giving birth to a kid, and just like, it's a lot. The pain, I'm scared of, just like, you know, there's lots of things that can go wrong, and I'm trying to stay positive, but I am scared. So I thought it would be a good time to check in with you guys and answer some questions. So if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. I have my very large pregnancy drink here. I have red raspberry leaf tea mixed with like diet Koren raspberry juice, like it's like 5 calories per serving, and a little like can of pineapple juice, and then a bunch of ice. So that's what this is. I've been having this like once a day. This is my 3rd time having it. I don't know if it actually does anything, but I asked my doctor about it, and she said, you know, like the science isn't really there, but it's not gonna hurt you as long as you don't go overboard. So we're trying it out. It's pretty good, pretty tasty. The only reason I chose the like diet, or like, I don't know if it's sugar-free, but the lower calorie cranberry juice is because it's way less acidic for me, and so it doesn't trigger my excruciating heartburn as much as like full sugar juice does. So that's why I did that. That's not like, yeah, that's why. So anyway, let's dive into the questions. Let me pull up my Instagram story so that I can see all of the questions that were asked. So the first question is, what was your earliest symptom or symptoms? And I guess technically my earliest symptom was a late period. My periods were never like super regular. Like they were like, it ranged from like 28 to like 36 days was like my cycle. So you know, there was like a good week or so of like variation in there. So I wasn't like to the day every 28 days. So, you know, it wasn't abnormal for my period to be a little bit late, but it was a little bit late, and I had felt periods like symptoms for like 4 days. Like, you know, when you're like going to start, you kind of have like crampiness, tender breasts, that kind of thing. Like all of my very exact period symptoms, but they lasted for like 4 days and I hadn't started. So I was like, wow, this is a little weird. Like I thought it was gonna start like for days and wasn't even considering the fact that I was pregnant because it felt exactly the same. I just hadn't actually started. So I guess technically you could say like period-like symptoms and then a late period, late/missed period, because I never got my period. So that was like my earliest symptom. It wasn't like nausea. That's how I feel like it always is in movies and stuff. It's like they show like the, you know, like the girl throwing up or whatever, and it's like insinuating, oh, she must be pregnant, she's gonna find out she's pregnant. But like nausea didn't happen for me until a bit later. And when I actually went to the doctor, I thought I was about 7.5, 8 weeks. because they don't see you until you're like 7 weeks. At least my doctor doesn't. So I had to wait after I took a at-home pregnancy test, and then they told me I was only 6 weeks at the time, or I was only measuring 6 weeks. So I found out when I was like 4 weeks pregnant, like basically as early as I could have found out, like without like tracking ovulation and things like that. I think another question is like, were you trying to get pregnant, or were you expecting to get pregnant? That kind of question came up several times, and we definitely were not trying. It was definitely a surprise. It was something that was always like part of our plan. The timing ended up being a bit, you know, interesting because we had actually just gotten legally married in February, and then like 2 weeks later is when I found out that I was pregnant. So it's, you know, the timing of it was kind of ironic, but it you know, we would have probably waited a while longer before trying, like actively trying, but it was always part of the plan, and it just happened a little bit sooner than we thought. So yeah, it was definitely shocking and not expected. So that answers that question. I think I answered that previously, but I know everyone always wants to know. The next question is, what's the best part about being pregnant? Which I really like this question. I feel like there's definitely a lot of good parts. There's a lot of rough parts. I won't call them bad because you know, again, trying to be positive, but there's definitely some parts of pregnancy that are better than others. I feel like overall, at least compared to experiences that I've seen online, I think I've been pretty lucky with my pregnancy and it being relatively mild. You know, I'm not trying to say that I haven't experienced any bad days or like pain. You know, I've had the nausea, the morning sickness, the, you know, sore boobs, the heartburn, just, you know, back hurting, sleepless nights, having to pee every 3 hours, and it's been pretty rough compared to like my normal life. But you know, overall I feel like I can't really complain too much because those are all expected things to happen, and I haven't had any like major complications or anything. All of my like appointments have gone really well so far. I luckily don't have hypertension or gestational diabetes or anything like that. So, you know, keeping that in mind, I feel like my favorite part, is that what it is? Or the best part is, I feel kind of like I have, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to articulate this. It's obviously really exciting for me because, you know, I get to have a kid, and that's something that I always wanted, and I'm gonna, you know, I guess I technically already am a mom, but, you know, I'm gonna have a kid and be a mom. And I feel like I mentally have like a connection with her. Like I feel like really like close to her, and I like, you know, feeling her move and stuff like that. I know everyone's experience with that is very different. Some people like it, some people don't like it, some people feel zero connection with their kid until they have their kid, and sometimes it even takes time after that. Everyone's experience is different. So I'm really like, you know, trying to prepare myself for postpartum because, you know, everyone's experience is different, and it can be great or it can be rough. So I think like just like the mental like internal connection that I feel with like this person that I have never seen or met before is like my favorite feeling, and like part of Poncho's trying to play with me, part of pregnancy. Like, I don't know, just knowing that she's like hanging out with me. Like I was telling Jarvis the other day that like I feel like I'm gonna miss like feeling her kick and like being so close to me like when she's here, which I know when she's here it's gonna be so exciting, and like probably way more exciting. Definitely way more exciting, but it's just gonna be different. It's gonna be like a different feeling. So that's probably been my favorite part, is like feeling her move and kick and feeling like I'm hanging out with her all the time. And also knowing that I'm having a kid that is, you know, a mini me, but also, you know, a mini Jarvis at the same time. The next question is, how many kids do you guys, or do you think you guys want? I don't know. I always thought I wanted 2. Like 2 kids sounded great. I had a brother, so like it was like 2 of us. So I think it depends on how this whole experience goes for me. Not to say if I have like a rough labor / birth experience that I wouldn't have another kid, but I think that will definitely like have an effect on like my thought process. Right now I definitely would like feel like I could do this again, you know, like I am getting to the point where I'm a little bit tired of being pregnant and I just want her to be here. But again, I haven't had like so rough of a pregnancy to where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this again kind of thing. So I after I have a kid, my answer could very well change. But I think that I would want like 2 kids. Jarvis says 3, but I don't know, that seems like a lot to me, but I guess we'll kind of see what happens. This next question says, did the pregnancy happen before or after you got married? No judgment. So this is kind of similar to what I had answered previously. So we found out after we got married. I know a lot of people assumed that we got married because I was pregnant, but we didn't find out until a few weeks after. So it's a pretty close timeline. I don't know exactly because again, based on like my last period and what I was measuring at the doctor was different and my cycle was not regular. So I don't know when exactly I ovulated. And so I don't know exactly, like I can't like mark it down to the day of when it happened, but it was close. And yeah, that was, you know, something that a lot of people I think assumed was that we got married because I got pregnant, but we didn't know. So didn't know until early March, so it was a few weeks later. Have you had any Braxton Hicks yet? I don't think so. I'm like waiting for like to feel something, but I don't think that I have. I've definitely been struggling with digestion. I started taking stool softeners because holy crap, very uncomfortable. I also take Pepcid and Tums for my heartburn, which I don't think helps with the digestion. So I've been trying to drink more water, eat more fiber, and just like move around a bit more. But I asked my doctor if there's anything else I can do, and she said I can start taking stool softeners, so I had to do that. And so I feel like crampiness a lot ever since I started taking those, but I don't know if that's like my uterus cramping or if it's just like my digestive system cramping. Sorry if that's TMI, but I'm like trying to think of what a Braxton Hicks feels like, and people are like, oh, it's just like, it's like period cramps but worse. And that's like kind of what I'm feeling, but like it also just kind of feels like I have to go to the bathroom. So I don't know. I haven't noticed like my stomach make like a weird shape or anything, how I've seen videos of Braxton Hicks, so I don't think so, but it's possible. I don't know. Do you plan on breastfeeding, bottle feeding, or both? I definitely plan on attempting to breastfeed. That's definitely something that is like, I don't know if I'll call it a goal, but like something I would like to do. And a combination of like regular nursing and like pumping and storing breast milk. I just, you know, that's my preferred option if I am given the choice. Obviously it doesn't work out for everybody for many reasons, so my plan is to go into it hoping that I can and trying, you know, my hardest to make it work. But if it doesn't work, then that's okay, and we will formula feed. I know there's a lot of controversy and opinion on that, and I know you can even like supplement with formula and breast milk and all kinds of different things, and some people recommend against that, so it all just depends. But my goal is, or my intention is, to breastfeed and pump and store milk so that we can bottle feed with breast milk as well, and Jarvis can help me out with that, or whoever. So that's our tentative plan, but things can always change. This next question says, why did you get married so quickly if you weren't pregnant yet? Do you have any wedding pics? So we do have, well, we didn't have like a wedding. We went to the courthouse and got legally married. I do have a couple pictures. I wore like a little white sundress and my parents were our witnesses. So we like went to the courthouse and we took like a class, like we had to take like a class thing days beforehand. Because that's, I don't know, that's just how it is in Florida. Like, you can't just like decide to go to the courthouse and get married. You have to like apply a few days before. So we took the class and we applied. I don't know if we applied online, or I don't know how it worked. I honestly forgot. But we like applied for the marriage license type thing. We went to the courthouse, filled out the paperwork, paid for the marriage license, and then we had a little like ceremony type thing, and there was like a little arch with fake flowers on it, and there was like a lady there that like read a little script, and you know, we said I do, and we had like cheap Amazon rings that we just like temporarily used to like, you know, exchange rings, and then we signed the marriage license and my parents signed it, and it was very quick, and then we went to Cracker Barrel after, and it was great. But we decided to, so we got engaged in December on Jarvis's birthday, which is December 23rd, and we decided to get married in February because well, it made sense for a lot of different reasons, but we wanted to pick a date that was special to us, so we ended up getting married on February 23rd because 23 is like a special number for us. I was born on March 23rd, Jarvis was born on December 23rd, we got engaged December 23rd. Pancho is an adopted rescue, and so we don't know his birthday, so we assigned him his birthday is May 23rd because we got him in May. So we celebrate his birthday on the 23rd. So the date 2/23/23 we really liked, and that was like the main reason for the specific day that we chose, so that we could have like our own like special wedding anniversary date. We already have like an actual wedding venue booked. We had it booked prior to us getting legally married. We, you know, the deposits down, all of that happened early February. And then we picked the date. It's not until later this year, but because we needed time to like plan and get, you know, not vendors, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. We just needed time to plan and to give family heads up so we could like have a regular wedding and celebrate with our family. But we really liked the date 2/23/23 so that's why we chose it, and that's really the main reason, is so that we had a special like date. Not that that's like, you know, the most important thing, but it just made sense for us, and we had already, you know, had the wedding, like the actual wedding celebration planned and put in the books kind of thing. So that's really the main reason why. And again, like I said, the timing was just, it was great. Will you want your mom in the room with you and your husband? And so this is something that I know a lot of people have opinions on. And as of right now, the only person that I want in the room is Jarvis, my husband. I of course, you know, plan on, I won't say of course because everyone has a different plan, but I do plan on having my parents and Jarvis's parents come and visit in the hospital after. That's probably the only visitors that we plan on having actually in the hospital. Then we'll go home and, you know, settle and figure things out, and then eventually start introducing our daughter to everybody else, but as of now, I think I only want Jarvis. I don't know, I could obviously change my mind, and I don't know if I will, but if I like went into labor this second, my answer would be just Jarvis in the room, which I know is like different for everybody, but I just feel like I'm already gonna be overstimulated and overwhelmed with what's going on, and I feel like having more people there is just going to stress me out even more. So that's pretty much my reasoning behind that. Cravings versus food you can't stand now. So this has changed a lot throughout pregnancy. My first trimester was where I had nausea and morning sickness. I only actually got sick like twice. Luckily, thank goodness. But I felt like I was gonna be sick every single day, like all day, every day. It was rough. And honestly, it's kind of like that thing where like if I just like let myself, like I probably would have felt better, but I fought it so hard because I hate getting sick. So in the first trimester, I had so many food aversions. The smell of things, the taste of things, just like thinking about things made me feel so sick. So first trimester, my major food aversions were eggs, peanut butter, any kind of like meat, which I don't really eat a lot of meat anyway, but like it was just extra bad. Those are like the things that I can think of off the top of my head. And I love eggs and I love peanut butter, and now they're great, and I am like, I've been craving peanut butter now, which is kind of funny. So I've had like those peanut butter and cheese crackers, or a peanut butter and jelly, or like a Reese's cup, like all the peanut butter. I love it. So now I'm all about peanut butter. But I did have a lot of food aversions in the first trimester, and then once my nausea kind of went away around 12-13 weeks, my you know, my food aversions started to lessen. But I probably didn't eat eggs or peanut butter until I was like 20+ weeks, and then I kind of started like feeling like pretty good, pretty normal as far as like food aversions go. I don't think that there's anything that I liked before that I don't like now because of pregnancy. Like my food aversions have been pretty mild. I feel like my sense of smell is heightened. So like I'll open the fridge and it just like smells bad to me. And Jarvis is like, it doesn't really smell like anything to him. So like I just know my nose sense is heightened. So it feels like it's just so strong, and you know, that's kind of rough. But other than that, I've been craving tuna, like canned tuna, like cooked tuna. I ate it when I was a kid. My dad used to make it. He would mix tuna, mayonnaise, and like sweet relish, mix it all up and put it on some like white butter bread from Nature Zone, I think. And I've been like thinking about that a lot. I haven't had it since I was maybe like 8 years old, but that's something I've been kind of craving. I've also been craving like a deli sandwich, like a sub, which I don't eat. I don't eat like turkey or any kind of like cold cut meat. I will eat pepperoni, salami sometimes, and ham sometimes. From Jimmy John's is the only place I get ham. I get a slim one, which is ham and cheese, but I haven't had any of that since being pregnant. So because you're not supposed to eat cold deli meat. But I've been like, I watch these Jersey Mike's videos on TikTok where they put like all the meats, lettuce, tomato, onion, like oil, vinegar, all of that, which I do not eat any of that. I do not eat lettuce, tomato, onion, none of that on like a sandwich. But it just looks so good, and I know I won't like the taste of it, but like I've been like craving it in a sense, which is really weird for me, especially because I'm like such a picky eater. So those have been some weird cravings that I've had. The tuna, which again haven't had in like probably almost 20 years, and the like a sub, like a fully loaded sub with all kinds of stuff that I don't eat. So yeah, those have been my weird cravings, I guess, which I have to wait on the ham and cheese sandwich thing. And the tuna thing, I'm like craving it, but I'm kind of psyching myself out because I'm like the smell and look of canned tuna grosses me out, but I know that I used to like it when I was a kid, so we'll see. Are you going to get an epidural? I definitely plan on getting an epidural, assuming I have like a regular birth, regular delivery, and not a C-section. I don't know. I don't have any plans for a C-section, and like my doctors don't either. So if I have a regular birth, I definitely want the epidural. Are you gonna tell us her name? We are gonna tell you guys her name, but I don't think we're gonna announce it until she's here. Like, we'll do like a birth announcement picture on Instagram, and I'll definitely do something over here on YouTube as well. But I think that's when we're gonna announce her name. We've had her name picked out for so long. Like, her first name we've had since before I was pregnant. Like, we were like, if we ever have a daughter, we gotta name her this. And then her middle name, we were like maybe, let's see, maybe like halfway, like maybe around 20 weeks or so, we had her first and middle name secured, and then she's gonna have Jarvis's last name. This next question says, how did you feel when you first found out? I think the first feeling was shock, because I didn't think that I was pregnant, because I felt like my period was gonna start, and I just took a pregnancy test just in case. And I was with Jarvis and Poncho. We were sitting on the bed actually, waiting for like the timer to be done, and I like flipped it over. I like pulled it out of the packaging, I don't remember, and I saw that it was positive, and like shock was the first feeling. Then it was kind of like my stomach dropped, like, oh my god, like scared a little bit. Definitely I cried, but I wasn't ever sad. It was just like scary and shocking, and like, oh my god, this is like actually happening kind of thing. And then after the shock wore off a little bit, then it was just like really excited, still scared out of my mind. I'm still scared now, and I've had 7 or 8 months to like cope with this, but it's gonna be scary, but it's gonna be great. And yeah, shock, scariness, and excitement were like, that was like the flow of emotions that I felt throughout the day that we found out. And that's pretty much all of the questions. A lot of repeated questions kind of thing. So if you guys have any more questions, let me know in the comments down below, but I think that's gonna be it for this pregnancy Q&A. My camera battery is about to die, so hopefully I can close out this video before it cuts me off. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.